notes about multiplying polynomials. So here we see the area model being used to multiply a binomial times a trinomial. So here we have a binomial because there are two terms, 3p and negative 7. So you can see where this part of the rectangle is labeled with two terms, 3p and negative 7. And then we have the trinomial. It has three terms, so this part of the rectangle is labeled with those three terms. When we multiply using an area model, we multiply the two things for each box. So here 3p times 2p squared, and you can see where each of those have been multiplied. Now to find the final product, we want to simplify, and we always want to write our answer in standard form. So standard form means start with the largest exponent. There aren't any more p cubes, so my first term would be 6p cubed. Then we want to combine our like terms, which have the same exponent, and negative 14 plus negative 9 combines to give me negative 23p squared. And then we want to combine our other like terms, so the ones that have just a p, those are like terms, positive 21 and negative 12. So we have different signs, so we subtract 21 minus 12, and we get 9, positive 9p, and then bring down our constant, so positive 28. So that would be the product of this binomial and trinomial. Let's look at another example. So here, this one is a little bit more complicated, and one thing that you really want to pay attention to is when you have a binomial squared. So that's that part right there, x minus 2 squared. This is the most commonly missed thing in polynomials, because people think they can distribute an exponent like they distribute a number outside, but you cannot, and you have to do exponents first. And a binomial squared means a binomial times itself. So the first thing I'm going to have to do here is I'm going to have to figure out what that x minus 2 squared is by multiplying x minus 2 times x minus 2. So I'm going to use what I know about distribution, and I'm going to distribute the x to everything in that parentheses, getting x squared minus 2x. Then I'm going to distribute the negative 2 to everything in the second parentheses, getting negative 2x plus 4, because a negative times a negative is a positive. And then I can combine my like terms to get x squared minus 4x plus 4. So that is the result of what I've highlighted in orange. And then the last thing I would do there is I can bring down that 2 and distribute the 2 to everything, making it 2x squared minus 8x plus 8. So now I have this answer reflects the 2 times everything, but I just noticed that I didn't pay attention to my sign, which means I should have distributed a negative 2 right here, making that negative 2x squared. A negative times a negative is a positive 8x, and a negative times a positive is a negative 8. Okay, now I can bring down my other terms. I have a positive 3x squared, and then I have this 3x times x minus 12x. I have some options here because you'll notice inside the parentheses you have like terms. So when you have like terms inside the parentheses, you can use order of operations where you do parentheses first. 1x minus 12x is negative 11x, and then I can multiply negative 11x times 3x to get negative 33x squared. Now I want to combine my like terms and see what my final answer is once I've simplified completely. So to do that, I want to look at all the ones that have the same exponent. So that would be negative 33x squared, positive 3x squared, and negative 2x squared. Negative 33 plus 3 is negative 30, and negative 30 minus 2 is negative 32x squared. And my last step is to bring down the plus 8x and the minus 8. And those are not like terms. So my final answer would be negative 32x squared plus 8x minus 8. One more example for multiplying a binomial times a trinomial. And this example has us using the distributive property, which means we're going to start off by distributing the 2x, that's what they're saying here, to each term in the trinomial. So 2x times each of the terms in the trinomial, 2x times 5x squared. Multiplying 2x times 5x squared does give me 10x cubed because we add the exponents. X to the first times x squared is x cubed. 2x times negative 2x is negative 4x squared. X times x is always x squared because 1 plus 1 is 2. And then 2x times positive 7 is positive 14x. So this is for distributing the 2x, and that is correct. Now we will, it looks like they have brought that step down here, and we already checked that. We know that that part is correct. So now they have taken and they are distributing the negative 3 to each term in the second parentheses. So negative 3 times 5x squared. So I'm just going to write this out so that I can see what I'm distributing. Negative 3 times 5x squared is negative 15x squared. Negative 3 times negative 2x. Here we have a negative times a negative, which should be a positive. And then negative 3 times positive 7 is negative 21. So it does look like that right there should be positive 6x. So I see that I made a mistake in step 2 because I did not pay close attention to my signs when multiplying. Hope that helps. Thank you.